with so many people coming back to second age lately, we are always in general chat on Discord asked the same question: how do I raise meditation? What method do you use to raise meditation here on second age server? And so we are going to ask this question. We are going to answer this question. There's two methods to raise meditation, and we are going to see them in detail briefly, but first things first, what is meditation and why it is important? So let's go to the page on Wikipedia. And here, Wikipedia page is done very well. So basically meditation affects the mana regeneration rate. Okay, you have three variables when it comes to mana regeneration rate. One being the armor rating and the type of armor, one being intelligence, and one being meditation skill. Now bear in mind that in the formula, and I think I will post the formula in the description below, intelligence and meditation, they add up. So okay, there is a factor where is meditation plus intelligence. So for instance, if you have 100 intelligence and 0 meditation, or if you have 50 intelligence and 50 meditation, the regeneration is the same. So there is intelligence and meditation boosting the regeneration rate, and then there is the armor rating nerfing the regeneration rate. There is the passive meditation, that is the mana that you regenerate just passively, doing nothing, and the active meditation, when you actually use the skill, that makes you regenerate mana twice as fast, provided that you succeed in using the skill, provided that you don't have anything in your hands, provided that you don't have armor, for instance, like plate armor, chain armor, ring mail, and studded leather that prevents you from entering a meditative trance. So the effect of the active meditation is regeneration, to regenerate mana twice as fast. And now I think we can give you some figures of how meditation is very important. Okay, and these figures we can make this. I'm gonna give you three examples, maybe 4 examples. Let's see. Okay, based on the formula that you will find in the description below, you have the best case scenario in which you have 100 intelligence and 100 meditation and 0 armor rating. In this case, you're gonna regenerate 1 mana per second passively and 2 mana per second actively. And that's the maximum amount of mana that you can get. Okay, I'm looking at the formula right now. Now, what happens? Because people don't normally go around with 0 armor rating. If you are wearing clothes, only clothes, they give you 4 armor rating. And if I put 4 armor rating in that formula, okay, turns out, okay, that now I am regenerating a lot less mana. So it takes me 1.75 seconds to gain 1 mana, which means that I am regenerating 0.57 mana per second. And this is only by wearing clothes. So basically I'm nerfing my mana regeneration by 43%. 43% just by wearing clothes, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, so mana regeneration is extremely difficult, and you want to have all the money you can get. That's why people tend to duel without clothes, without like 0 mana, with 0 armor rating. And even if I put, for instance, 2 armor rating, I am going to regenerate 0.8 mana per second. So I'm 20% nerfed. So we can approximate that each point of armor rating in this low level of armor rating nerfs the mana regeneration by 10%. So 1 armor rating minus 10%, 2 armor minus 20%, 3 armor minus 30%, and so forth. Of course, when armor rating gets higher and higher, this doesn't happen. The formula also tells us another thing. It tells us that as long as intelligence plus meditation is 180, you are maximizing your mana regeneration. Which means that you can either have 100 meditation and 80 intelligence, your mana regeneration with 0 armor rating, okay, let's talk about 0 armor rating, will always be 1 mana per second. That's why people in duel, they can go as low as 90 intelligence to have that 35 dex to swing the Heli faster. Because if you have 100 meditation and 90 intelligence, if somebody feeble minds you, you go to 80 intelligence and you still have 180, and you're still going to have the maximum amount of mana regeneration. If you want to have 42 dex, somebody goes for 42 dex to allow for another 0.25 more speed of the heli. If somebody feeble minds you, you are gonna lose mana regeneration rate. If somebody doesn't feeble mind you, yeah, you're not gonna lose mana regeneration rate. So that's very important. 180. Okay, so for instance, if you're looking to have a character for some reason that I don't know, if you have a character with 100 intelligence and 80 meditation, you still have maximum mana regeneration, provided that nobody feeble minds you. So if you want to stay safe, you have to have 100 intelligence and 90 meditation, so you can have 10 skill points to allocate somewhere else, for instance. Now let's do some other examples. I very much like with my PKs to have a sort of med dexters, okay, because I need meditation, I need mana to go around, to gate travel, to cast energy vortex, to cast meteor swarm, to cast EVs, okay, to do all this stuff and recall around very quickly around the map. So I have characters that have sort of high dex, and therefore they have not intelligence maximized, and I'm going around with 100 meditation, and for instance my character has 60 intelligence or 65 intelligence or sometimes 55. In this case, with for instance 60 intelligence, 100 meditation at 0 armor rating, I am regenerating mana at 0.66 mana per second. Okay, so I'm sacrificing 33% mana regeneration rate compared to a pure mage build. If you have a dexter where you have, for instance, 40 intelligence and 0 meditation, okay, and if you are wearing like 50 armor rating, then it will take you 15 seconds to regenerate 1 mana. So it's 15 times slower than a tank mage, so it's basically impractical. If you wanna cast recall is 11 mana. It means that you're going to need 165 seconds to cast recall, okay, between one recall and another, so it takes forever. The last example we can do is sometimes we are asked, why don't we use leather armor on mages here? I mean, it helps, you can meditate through leather armor, okay, but let's imagine 100 intelligence, 100 meditation, 15 armor rating, 16 armor rating from leather armor. Your mana regeneration, that is 1 mana per second at 0 armor rating, becomes 0.25 mana per second. So basically you are nerfing your regeneration rate by 75%. Makes no sense. It means you have no mana. Basically it means you have no mana. Now, how do we train skills? There's two methods. One is the runebook method, and one is the league core method. So let's see. Both methods are here. There is only the runebook method, which is the best. Basically, what is the point? The point is skills in this era are only trained actively. Unlike later eras like Renaissance, where, for instance, if you cast spells, you also gain evaluating intelligence. If you bash at things, you also gain anatomy. And if you have not full mana, you also gain meditation. No, here you have to use the skill. So, now, if you want to use the skill meditation, of course you don't have to have full mana. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use meditation. So, you need a method to burn mana. what is the method of burning mana? It is having a rune book, having a rune inside the rune book marked to a location that is blocked. To do so, you mark a rune on a town crier that he's never moving, and the rune will always be blocked. Okay, you have to place in the rune book a recall charge, okay, basically dragging and dropping a recall scroll inside the rune book. Use the charge to recall on the blocked rune. You will consume the mana, you will not consume the regs. So basically, this method allows you, okay, to lower your mana and meditate. Then lower your mana again, meditate again, lower your mana again, meditate again until you GM. This is a sample macro that I'm going to put the link in the description to UOSA second age Wikipedia. You can basically download, just copy and paste this to Notepad and add it to your macro folder. And you make sure you have to retarget the rune book, of course. But what's the trick here? Meditation becomes more difficult the lower mana you have. So basically, if you have 100 meditation, you will always succeed in meditating when you are out of like 10% of mana, 20% of mana, even 50% of mana. You will never fail. Whereas if you have like 20 meditation, 25 meditation, after you have trained it from the NPC, if you have 0% mana in your mana pool, you will never be able to meditate. So what is the key here? In this era, to gain skills, there's two checks. The first check is if you can never succeed in using the skill, you will never gain. And the other check is if you always succeed, you will never gain. So you have to be in a sweet spot that is highlighted here, in which the skill has, for instance, 50% chance of success, 50% chance of failure. That way you are in the sweet spot and you are going to maximize your gains. And how meditation works, this is the formula. This formula is based on 100 intelligence. But the formula, the difficult is based on the mana percentage. So this formula means basically that if you have 120 minus current meditation, let's imagine you have 50 meditation. So 120 minus 50 equals 70. So here is what you have to set, mana at 40%. So if you have 100 intelligence, you have to start meditating at 40% of your, you have to meditate when you lack 40 mana points. Okay, so when you have 60% in your mana pool. Okay, here if you raise 5 more skill points in meditation, you have to start meditating when you have 45% empty of your mana pool. So it means that, for instance, here 50, you have 50 when you have 60 meditation. So it means that you start meditating when you have 50% of your mana pool. So if you have 100 intelligence, it's 50 mana. If you have 50 intelligence, it's 25 mana. Here it also says about wearing armor, but in my opinion, this method you can use without wearing any armor. It doesn't matter. Absolutely, it doesn't matter. Okay, it absolutely doesn't matter to wear any armor. Because yes, the armor will allow you to stay lower in for a longer time without mana. But yeah, you don't consume any charges. I mean, you cast another recall, that's not going to work because the rune is blocked, and again your mana will fall down, and again you meditate again. The thing that you have to make sure is to interrupt the meditation so that you stay at low manas. So it's like meditate and speak something, so that it allows for maximum skill gains. Also, bear in mind that meditation is on a 10-second cooldown, so it's really slow. There's two ways you can do this. Some people like to they normally train majoring and they normally train meditation. Some people like to train majoring and meditation simul. You can GM both. Of course, it takes longer to GM majoring and it takes longer to GM meditation. Some other people like to do it. Okay, let's do meditation first. Let's get meditation to 100 and then let's do majoring. That's fine. That's fine. You can do both. You can do both methods are fine. But if you do the majoring and meditation simultaneously, bear in mind the percentage of meditation. So tune the mana at which you start meditating as the skill goes up. Another thing that I wanted to mention was the liquor method. It's another method. But if you drink liquors, okay, you're going to lose mana because you get stoned basically. You get drunk and you lose mana. So this is an alternate method of losing mana. So I'm drinking liquor, I become drunk, and I lose mana, and I meditate. But again, you're going to need like 125 bottles of liquor. You're going to be an alcohol addict. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a method that works. Okay, it can be more cool to drink alcohol and be an alcoholic in Ultima Online, but yeah, the rune book method is definitely better because it doesn't consume resources. So guys, it's been a long time since we made a video on skills, but with that many returning players that we have, it's definitely a must to do so, and meditation is one of the best skills. I mean, mana is power. Mana is power. More mana, more majoring, more meditation, and you will be able to do anything in this game. Take me away everything, don't take me away my mana, for fuck's sake. Okay guys, thanks everybody for watching. We reached 75 population yesterday and it was just a Monday, so a Monday night, so come on, come play, come meditate, come do everything, okay? So come play Second Age. I'm getting some errors here. Can play Second Age, you will never regret. Join us in general chat, join guilds, play together, let's have fun. You have automated events, you have storylines events, you have corn maze, you have Halloween, you have guilds, you have PvP tournaments, you have everything here. Why the heck would you go elsewhere? Okay? No, I want to see you here, and love you all. Long live Ultima Online Second Age. Bye everybody.